it's Thomas at modelmatch here. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use market insights to identify loan officers that are in your area or even nationwide, how you can apply some filters to narrow down that list of loan officers, and then ultimately how we can take all that data, we can build a list, we can store those LOs inside of our list or our pipeline, and then we can start to track our recruitment efforts, right? We can make outbound phone calls, we can add our notes, we can collaborate with our team, and it's really, really easy to do. So the first thing that you want to do inside of your account, depending on where you are, is you want to click on Market Insights, and that's just right over here on the navigation menu. You click on Market Insights, and that'll take you into the Market Insights tool. This is where you can search for those loan officers. You can even search for companies if you want to see how many loan officers are they onboarding, how many loan officers have left, and where did they go. You can even see, all agents in your market, mortgage branches, all of the data that you have access to inside of modelmatch is going to be right here inside of Market Insights. So the first thing that we can do is we can control the data that we're seeing, and you're going to see that right here where it says viewing loan originators. And if you were to click on that option, you can see that we can decide if we want to look for loan officers, we can look for mortgage companies that are in an area, we can look at branches, we can even look at all agents inside of our area as well. But since in this case we're talking about recruiting, business development, on that side of things, we're going to keep that right here where it says loan originators. And if I wanted to do a nationwide search, like you're not tied down to a particular market, we just want to see what's happening across the board, all we need to do is just click on search right here, and that'll run across the board nationwide and show us all of those loan officers. By default, of course, you can see right here how that's sorting, and we're sorting by volume. We could always flip that to units if we wanted to as well, but we're going to keep that at volume. Now what I want to do is start to add in some filters to narrow this list down. I want to find those loan officers that really meet those minimum qualifications or my criteria profile so that I can get them into a pipeline. And I'm going to do that by using add filter right here. So I'm going to click on add filter, and we can start to add in a number of different filters that we have access to in Market Insights. The first one is volume. I'm going to come down to volume, and I can specify a very specific range. I can even do things like greater than or less than. Since we are looking at 14 months, I'm just going to type in 14, and we're going to call it $1 million a month in the last 14, and we're just going to click over 14 million. You'll see that filter drops right up here at the top, and then I already have my results back, and you can see how many results down here at the bottom. But let's keep adding. So I'm going to click add filter, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do in here. You can use the company filter if you wanted to do inclusions or exclusions of certain companies. And you can do things like title as well. So if you wanted to look at just branch managers or just originators, you have control over that. In this case, we just want to look at originators. So I'm just going to click on loan originator. We'll add that title filter in. And again, it's going to automatically search back for me and then show me those results. So we can just keep on adding. I might come down to loan types, and I want to look at conventional heavy originators. So I'm going to click on conventional. I'm going to type in 51 and then click greater than 51%. But I want them to have a little bit of FHA business as well. So I'm going to click on FHA. And on this one, let's type in 10, and then we'll click greater than 10. And you can see now how both of those are added to my loan types filter. So you can within a single filter add multiple levels to it. So it really is helpful when you're building out more complex criteria profiles to be able to do that, and it's super easy to do. If we use the company filter, we might type in like a specific company in here, and then just to kind of show you how that would work, I'm going to select that company from the list. You'll see that drops in up here. And by default, it's going to look for any originator that works for that company, sponsored by that company. I'm going to click on works for, and I'm going to select doesn't work for. And then you'll see that updates, and it's going to remove all of those originators, right? So very easy to do inclusion, exclusion. You could even click in here and add multiple companies if you needed to. So if you had a larger list of companies that maybe you didn't want to recruit out of, you could always add them to this filter and look at them all at once. Now let's add just a few more. I might come down to transaction types, and let's say we want to look at purchase heavy originators, so we'll type in 51% there as well. And if I needed to, I could narrow this down to a location. It could be a zip code, it could be a county, it could be a state. And if I click on locations, you could always type in, like, it might be Texas as an example, and we could select the entire state of Texas. Just to show you what that looks like, let's click on that. You'll see how Texas is actually highlighted now. If we zoom out a little bit, you can see that whole state is highlighted. We have the location filter up here at the top, and now I'm just looking at originators that are located in Texas that also match my other results. And if I wanted to flip this, I don't have to remove it to change it. All I need to do is just simply click inside of that filter, and then we can always make that change. Maybe I'm going to flip that to North Carolina. We click on that, and now we're looking at North Carolina, so it's very easy to do. I'm going to add one more, and then we're going to save it, and then we're going to add them to a list. So what I'm going to do is click on Add Filter. Let's come down to Company Category, and we're going to select Not Banks and Credit Unions. So we don't want to look at, right now, any originator that's at a depository, so we're going to remove them using the Company Category filter, and we have a pretty good profile here. We have 121 results. So if this was my criteria profile, if this what I was looking for, right, I have them all in this list, and now we can add them to a pipeline on our account. Now we can start to make phone calls or send emails. We can add notes, collaborate with our team, whatever we needed to do. First, I want to save it because I don't want to add all these filters in. Next time, I just want to run this list. I'm going to click Add Filter. I'm going to come down to Save Views. And at the very bottom here, I have a lot of saved views. At the very bottom here, I'm going to click on Save Current View, and we'll call this North Carolina Loan Officers. I'm going to click that checkbox right there to save it, and we're good to go. Now, anytime I want to run this list, all I need to do is come into Market Insights, click on Add Filter, come down to Save Views, and then just select that view from my list. So very easy to do. Now, there's a couple ways we can get these loan officers into a pipeline or a list on our account. I could always come up here to this box at the top, and I can select groups of 250, 500, or 1,000 of them at a time, or I can be very selective. I can also use the checkbox next to their names to select which loan officers I want to add to that list. I'm going to keep it at these top 3 right here. I'm going to come down and click Add to Pipeline. Now that's going to pop up this Add to Pipeline box, and I don't have a pipeline for these loan officers, but that's okay. We don't have to go anywhere else to create that. If I needed to, I could create a pipeline beforehand by clicking on the Quick Actions icon from the menu and then just simply selecting Create Pipeline. In this case, we're just going to come down and click on Add to Pipeline here and hover over this icon. You'll see it turns into a plus sign. I'm going to click on that here, and now I can create that pipeline. So let's type in North Carolina Loan Officers, and we'll give it a description. I'm going to make myself the owner, and then under assignee, I could assign any other teammate on my account. So if I'm building a list for someone else, or someone else is supporting me on the engagement side, I could always add them into this pipeline, and all of these contacts and all that contact information would be right there on their dashboard as well. So I'm going to click Add right here. That's going to create the pipeline. It's going to pre-fill it for us. I'm going to leave them in as prospects. I could always assign them to a user, and I could tag them if I wanted to use that tag to filter down my contact list inside of my list or pipeline later. I'm just going to click Add to Pipeline right here. That's going to go out, grab their contact information, put that contact information on their record, and now I can start making those phone calls, sending those emails. I can collaborate with my team back and forth to share information, all within one platform. Or if I needed to, I could also export that list to a CSV file or an Excel file, put that list into a CRM that I'm using. But very, very easy to do. If you have any questions about any of this inside of ModelMatch, you can always reach out to our support team. We're more than happy to help.